Step in the dance looking like Shabba. Gold rings, gold chains, shining. Gold chaps, gold teeth when I'm rhyming.
Stepping at the dance, it's a madness. Even Shabba knew about my rankings. I'm a general, old school with it. Two-step to boom, I get Bojo with it. Dancing on my section, but we share a love from a distance.
Hey, what's happening? It's your boy Sammy Brit, and I'm back here with another supernatural. So basically, it's a supernatural theory that is going around and how SPN will continue after, the super series ending. And if I'm being honest, as a show, and also as an experience, and also as the lessons I've learned from every single character and from 17 from time to time, but I'm not complaining about how I'm hating on Slam and how I wish Dean became. So basically, when I look at the show, I haven't been with the fandom ever since season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way up to when Lucifer showed up, all the way up to when the war on Daigo was, all the way to when the war on Lucifer, all the way to so many supernatural worlds with so many low-balling characters that I do and don't know, that are below Naomi, and pretty much the adventure of 17 that practically I don't understand. But the thing is, I do get 17. The only thing inspiration I ever got from 17 was the fact that they were practically going up against an impossible threat with this god. And from a power scaling and a personal perspective, they shouldn't have won. And it's not because of, they shouldn't have. It's because, no, they literally shouldn't have. It's just that I feel like, obviously, because it's a story, and ultimately the real gods are the SPN writers, they threw the concept of omnipotency out of the window. Sure, Chuck was being arrogant, but it doesn't matter. He's everywhere and anywhere. So even if he doesn't want to be in the bunker with the boys, he's there. So that's so ultimately, it's like saying, oh no, the thing is, if Chuck can make a mistake like that, or if that's a huge red con for plot convenience, that same thing could happen to Jack, even though he's not in the picture. Because ultimately, it doesn't matter in and out, because in and out of the picture, Chuck is still overpowered. But from power scaling perspective, 17 shouldn't have won. Story-wise, it makes sense, but it conjures a lot of things. But anyway, this is why I said that the boys pretty much are gonna lose unless ABC happen. But I understand a bit more. They didn't have enough people, or the characters they had, such as the actors. They had such as the actor for Raphael or Gabriel didn't want to come in, but actor for Michael or Lucifer did come in. I feel like, and it still hurts me to this day on how they treat Lucifer, but I'm over it, and mainly because that, sure, they want to keep him as the villain, but at the same time, who helped 17 by hinting out, Mike eats a cock, and then boom, Michael wanted to go back to being the favorite son. But at the same time, what I'm getting at is how all the characters ended. Pretty much my top 2 favorites. I'm sad how Michael ended up being, but I cannot really control someone else's actions. Like as our boy Lucifer, here is where I see it's either that he's playing Chuck just so he can stab him in the back, or he's actually genuinely trusting him, which that wouldn't make much sense because that's a huge spin-off controversy to how Lucifer is. But anyway, what I'm aiming at here is the potential of what 17 could have become. What could they become? So if they weren't all the way focused in the moral to the goose shoes of Sammy, both of them would have become John and Constantine as type hunters. So what I'm talking about is that they would have become the type of hunters who embrace the supernatural world to the point that John Constantine used necromancy, high tier class magic that kill demons, gods, to the point that you can think he's on phone, but it's absurd powers that are reaching the level of archangels like Gabriel, Raphael, and even surpassing Metatron, and just a bit close to where Lucifer is, just a bit. And that's and I know this is an observation based off of what he was able to accomplish, and also the people he was able to deceive. So yes, 17 are very good at manipulation, well, not all the way good as someone like Lucifer, Chuck, or others that have manipulated over them and over again. So basically, they have better to become something that was shown across the series, and I think would have split the fandom, because half the fandom would have had them remain as they were, while the other fandom would have them grow up. Because I feel like Sam and Dean ultimately didn't grow up. The reason why they would never really grow up is, one, they're both dead, and then every time that they say I'm not a monster, that's only leaving space for another heartbreak to happen, and then boom, they go to their monster side. Now note, oh my gosh, it's so bright. Now note, guys, give me a look as though I'm in heaven or hell. Was all hold on, please. Back to where we were. So, in regards to how SPN will continue, not regarding on how the actor's thinking, but story wise, both Sam and Dean are dead, but practically their offspring, well, Sam's offspring. So we don't really know if Sammy has trained his son Dean in the arts of hunting. I wish he did, but Sammy won't, because he wants to give him a normal life. But it's just based off what we have seen. And in fact, if the Supernatural series had a book or a manga to refer to what the S-Men series ultimately should have become, rather than what the audience wants to see, it would become so much different. In fact, close to a John Constantine, but not really close. Because one major thing John Constantine has is demon blood. So this is something that I've mentioned multiple times. 17 have had demon blood, but they constantly get each other out because they don't want to lose each other. So it's reasonable why they don't want it, but at the same time, it's an advantage that I feel like they should have had. Because I feel like 17 should have become the ultimate guardians of Earth. But the problem is that they couldn't. Well, the only person that actually wanted to accept it was Dean, to the point that he took a risk going up against Metro, a very strong angel, and died. The problem is they always make their other battles with other angels that should kill them instantly very lucky, but then they make it fair with Gabriel, with Raphael, Lucifer, Michael, and no, you don't take them out easily. Which power scaling wise, they had to. Other times it is so. Just like the Boulder series, sometimes it's shit, sometimes it's fire. But overall, with how SPN ended, I'll give it an honest 8 out of 10. I mean, the way Dean died, I was like, oh well. The writers wanted dead. Later on time, I was like, whatever. I mean, with Lucifer did, I was like, fuck. But anyway. So, in basics, what if Dean's son, Sam's son, named Dean after Dean, will he become a hunter? Jack is practically hands off, not really in the scenes, but at the same time, the empty can be like, yeah, I don't want these dead people in my space and just kick out everyone who died, restarting everything Dean would have done. And ultimately, since Jack, I think since he's not omnipotent, he has a new mindset. Sure he has respect for somebody and has put them in an actual heaven, not a heaven of memories, but an actual heaven. So I'm like, whatever. But at the same time, Jack, I think, has a different mindset, and I think Jack is gonna act a bit more like the presence from DC. Because I think from the way Jack is, from his personality of wanting to live, turn into omnipotency, I think he is gonna have a different personality. He still has his same personality, but I think he's gonna have a unique goal made up for Sam's son Dean, and when it comes to Garth, I was gonna mention Garth and his family, but they're snapped away because Chuck snapped away everyone in an instant. So it's, you can't really say much about that. But at the end of the day, depending on how Sam's son Dean goes, I hope he turns out to be 10 times better than 70. I hope he. So let me be 100% honest. I'll like for him to become a John Constantine or something close to that. But if it goes around Sam and Dean, I'm still gonna watch the show just to see where he goes. Because regardless of where these characters go, their story is still interesting. Doesn't mean I will like them, because ultimately Dean was gonna become something. But thanks to the whole narrative of what the writers wanted, no. But at the end of the day, Sure, 17 got what they want, so yay, I'm sort of happy for them. Lucy, he got a morbid ending, but he was like the best character of all. But overall, when it comes to the future of Espion, I hope Semi's son becomes better than 17. I hope he surpasses both of them. I hope he accepts the supernatural. I hope Jack doesn't really get involved, but just sits back and watch things unfold, like the presence. Even though at times he gets involved from time to time. I hope some of our characters come back, but I hope not too many, because here's something I've noticed: when you put too many overpowered characters, and you have to keep track that, oh, he's not on point, oh, those two are on point, oh, that one technically is on point. You have so much power scaling that the people who covered are people like me and way one person, and probably others that I somewhat know. Also, the writers do care about scaling, but in terms of the story, it's scaling story. It's hard to balance both. From what I see, but if I'm being honest, it is still possible, because currently in Boruto, if you're a Boruto fan, power scaling was washed around for a while, and then they kill off an overpowered character by weak ass characters. So it has the same problem in Espion. I hope it gets fixed. I hope that they're able to balance out the power scaling with the story, but in order to do that, a lot more characters, to the point that the main characters have to die in order to get a power up, or in order to get something. So it just depends how it goes. Like, I do understand the fact that something we're just hunting lower ranked beings until they got to demons, archangels, angels, gods. Then that's when things start to be like, yeah, we're gonna kill them all. Lucky. Oh wait, no, shit. So it's understandable. But overall, as from my side of an SPN fan, a lot of potential was wasted on 17. Dean was so close. I can tell you that for sure. But at the end of the day, fun show. Somewhat happy for their success. Sad that Lucifer got the ending here, but I'm over it mainly because I think he'll do the best and think if I was in the show too. But anyway, boys, get this video up to at least 100 likes, and see you in my motherfuckers.
LB say go na na na, go na na na, go na na, go na na, remix, go na na na, go na na na.
Likee